Hey everybody, Billy Watkins here with the Premier Power Hour podcast. Coming to you today with Lori Orr.
That's me.
Of Premier Packaging.
Yes.
Lori, number one, have you ever had the sense of deja vu?
Yes, I have.
Me too.
Actually,
isn't that weird?
It is so weird. It is.
Sometimes you never know when it's going to hit, but
and then it does, and you're like, wait, I've been there.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I joined Premier Packaging almost 2 years ago, and I joined in a capacity of doing learning and development, and I lead talent management here.
Something in this day and age even more important than ever, probably,
yes.
because it's hard to get folks, hard to keep positions filled. So you use the talent that you have and you develop them, right?
Absolutely, yep. Absolutely. You got to keep our people loyal and know that they're fully invested in.
Right.
They've got everything that they need to be successful, and so that they stay here. They don't leave us.
Which Wiser, which we've talked about a little bit on previous podcasts. Well, not you and I, but I think that it's been discussed. Tell me a little bit about Wiser.
Yeah. So at Premier, we have a learning management system, and it is called Wiser. It was employee named. As part of our mission, we ask why. And we had an employee name our learning management system Wiser. It says we ask why, which makes us wiser.
Pretty clever.
Yes.
Pretty clever.
So,
I think I worked with the person that named it, and I thought that was when I saw that.
Such an awesome name.
Very, very good name.
Oh, we were so excited when that name came as an option, and it was voted. It was a pretty easy win on that on that one. And so our learning management system is in place so that we can keep our folks trained. It's a tool for people to get on and get professional development or company information.
I can say this honestly. It's you may think it just one of those tasks that it's another task I have to do, and if it doesn't, then it's got to be done in a certain amount of time. But I can honestly say that I just about every single one of them that I've done, I've learned something from. So I guess that is probably part of the goal.
That's
right?
Music to my ears.
Yeah. So I mean, it actually is.
That.
It's very helpful.
Well, good. Well, thank you. Well, that's the point. It's supposed to be
not just some random task that you have to do.
No, it is truly all meant to be helpful information for everybody, and to keep us all on the same page too.
Right.
Drive consistency across the business.
Something that is terribly difficult to do when you are a company that grows as fast as we grow, hires as fast as we hire, and is all over the place, just across the country. Yeah, you got to be consistent.
We got to be consistent. Yeah, consistency helps with everything that.
Every
we can
aspect
do. Every
of the business.
aspect. And it builds trust across the business as well. So when you talk about talent management and keeping people engaged and loyal, consistency helps us do that as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
What are we doing today? I'm a little nervous. Because I've heard that you were, that things are going to be thrown at me, and my job depends on my answers, right?
Yes, it does. You might not have a job after this. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Yeah. At Premier, one of the things that we talk a lot about is really owning your future. You are empowered to get what you want, do what you want, make your decisions, and get through things. Like you're empowered to own it, if you will.
Own it.
Own it.
An acronym.
It is an acronym.
For?
So we say to overcome, and that's typically overcoming emotions that come along with frustrations or situations that occur, and then welcome getting advice and feedback. Welcome your help, and or welcome getting help, and then use your network. The N is for network. Use your network.
Building partnerships.
Yeah.
Let's dig into those just a little bit more. So overcoming, part of it, showing up every day, right?
Yes.
I mean,
it's mindset.
Mindset. I find this difficult, and you seem like a person that has a pretty positive attitude. What kind of advice would you give to me to keep myself from being occasionally negative?
Look, we're human.
Right?
We are human, and I think that's part of it, is knowing that we're human, that's okay to have some negative
Negative
thoughts here
thoughts.
and there,
Yeah.
but also finding ways that motivate you. Like we're all different, and we all have different motivations. We all have different things that encourage us or keep us maybe on that positive side.
Right.
And finding that, a couple things that do that for you, whether it's exercise or waking up in the morning, that there's a routine, or having gratitude journal, and like whatever it is.
Okay.
We're all motivated by different things. So what is it that might kickstart our day on the positive side versus letting the negative, get it, kind of throw us into a black hole of frustration.
Right. I have for some reason I've gotten, maybe it's just the packaging background, but I kind of, sometimes I wake up in the morning and I just want to like punch a roll of bubble wrap.
Sure. Yes.
Maybe is that good or bad? That's,
well, again, we're human, and I think that it's okay to want to punch
a roll of bubble wrap.
Right. Yeah. Sure. But once you do that, what do you do after it?
What's next?
Yeah, what's next? And if you come up with your way of getting you past that frustration, maybe punching that roll of bubble wrap or whatever is going to be what helps you get to that other side.
Get to the next step.
Sure. So I think it's just thinking about what comes after that.
And gosh, this is terrible for myself because it's just pointing out, I think, all of my flaws and weaknesses. So
this
thank
is
you for that.
actually a therapy session.
It is good for me. Welcoming help.
It's the hardest thing.
Because we all want to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
I think
we don't want people to think that we don't know what to do or we don't know how to do it. It's vulnerability. Can I say that?
You did.
Say that
you
3 times fast.
Vulnerability.
Yeah, that's a hard word to say. But
I think coming, maybe this wasn't the worst thing for me because coming to Premier Packaging so many years ago, certainly did not know a lot about the industry.
Yeah.
And what was nice when I started is the folks that I worked with had an amazing amount of knowledge that you just kind of have to tap into.
You do. And get it, like use it. And everybody is so willing to
help.
To give it. Yeah. And so just being comfortable is the first part. In saying,
just raise your hand.
Hey, I need some more information on this, or I'd like to learn more about this, or who do I go to for this? And really welcoming, the skills, the knowledge of others.
I was just at a customer. It's amazing. I was just at a customer the other day, working with a fellow project manager that I had not worked with in a long time, and it was nice to be able to be on site with them and just in more of a, not really a leadership role, but a supportive role. And we got to talking, and it's like, well, this is cool. This is fun working with you. I could learn a lot from you.
Yes.
And I said, well, I could learn a lot from you. This is
Mutual.
what it's all about.
It is.
Two-way street.
It sure is.
Which kind of feeds into the N of own.
Yes. Utilize
Networking.
the network. Yeah.
Networking.
Yeah, there's so many great people, whether inside Premier, outside of Premier, who are so willing to provide their knowledge, and it's just as long as we ask for it.
Yeah, you're not on an island.
You're not on an island. Yeah. So that's owning it is really first identifying what your frustrations are and how do you get past it, and then being willing to ask for help and getting yourself there, welcoming that you need the support, and then utilizing your network to get it.
It is there.
It is there. Yeah, absolutely.
All you got to do is use what we got.
Right.
You're going to give me some. This is what I'm nervous about.
Let's see if you can own it.
Okay, I'm going to do my best.
Okay. At work, we encounter many different types of frustrations. It's just a part of working.
Yep.
It's part of life.
It is.
Actually, in and outside of work,
Yep.
right? We experience frustrations. Okay. So let's say you came to work every day and you had a peer on your team.
Okay.
And that peer on your team had a pretty negative mindset all day, every day. They hadn't found the other side yet, right? And you started to notice yourself starting to feel pretty negative.
It's infectious.
It's infectious. What do you do? Or what would you do?
Well, I mean, you acknowledge that this problem exists. I guess you say to yourself, this is making me negative. This person is making me negative. Do you go to that person and in a constructive manner see if there's anything that you can do to help them with their day or to help solve some of their frustrations? What is it? What is the problem?
Yeah.
Why are they being Debbie Downer? And try to identify that to see if there's something you can do to help.
Yeah, if your mind is there, because if you're starting to get in a negative mindset, you might not even
want to go there.
You might not. Now, I think one of the first things is to acknowledge that there are things that we can control and things that we can't control. And we can't control other people.
Well,
right?
That's a good point. Yeah.
But you can control you.
Yeah.
So you can start thinking about
So it's not about them.
That's right.
It's about me.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And it's okay to say that. I think sometimes we are quick to, maybe it's make a judgment or try to figure out somebody else's issue
Yeah.
and not really accept that actually let's take a step back and think about the things that we can control about ourselves and find the things that are going to motivate us to get us out of the negative state.
It's not Debbie Downer, it's me. Yeah.
It's you, first.
That's so much better.
I think it's starting with you first, you know?
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got that one wrong.
No, you didn't get it wrong. I think,
we should have given these
but
names.
that's where our minds might go to. Well, let's
let's fix somebody else. Yeah.
And there's opportunity to help and support people, and you be their network. So absolutely be their network. But in a situation like this, you do, if you're starting to feel negative, let's get you out of it first. Okay. And then move forward.
I like it. I like that. What's next?
Okay, let's think here. So let's just say, this is not something we have here at Premier. Let's just say, but let's say you had a poor leader.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you, what's a word, a key word that you would think of if you were thinking of like a worst boss scenario? Like what would somebody be like?
Just bad communication.
Okay, awesome. So let's say you had a leader, again, we do not have this at Premier, that doesn't communicate well.
Right.
You're always late to know certain things,
right,
which could cause either you to not do something correctly because it changed in the middle and you're starting to get frustrated.
Yep.
So what would you do?
Yeah, I mean, I've never had this before.
That's awesome. Good.
I mean, there's the acknowledging of the problem. There's welcoming help, but if this person is your boss, I mean, where's the help going to come from?
Right.
Does it come from the last? Does it come from the end? Do I go outside of my boss?
Okay, so
to a
let's
network?
first talk about one, how it makes you feel when somebody doesn't communicate. Like you feel frustrated.
Certainly, yeah. If I can't, then my job is affected by the lack of communication. I can't be perfect in what I'm doing if someone else is, not doing their job.
So if we're looking at owning it, the first thing you would stop and think is, whoa, I'm like majorly frustrated right now, right? And my emotions are getting out of whack, right?
Yep.
So you got to first acknowledge it and then figure out, okay, how can I overcome that? A couple things are maybe looking at, like taking a step back and looking at the situation.
Right.
You might say, okay, this person might not have ever gotten a manager training, or they don't know how to communicate, or whatever it is. And you take a step back and maybe have a little empathy for
what they're going through.
Right? And that might help you alleviate some of that frustration.
Yep.
Okay. And then, welcoming, like maybe you just said, you've never had a leader that has led you that way, right?
Right.
So it's new to you.
Right.
So you might want to welcome getting some advice from somebody on who maybe other people out there have had, situations like that, and they say you could go to them and get some advice on how they handled
Right.
a certain situation. So then you're welcoming it, and then you're going out and networking to figure out if there's some advice that you can get first, and then you can start tackling what it is that, might make the situation better. It might be that it's a conversation with the leader. It might be a conversation with another leader in the company. But first, getting past that emotion.
If you're not getting what you need to do your job properly, there's nothing wrong with. You don't have to be passive about it. You go
Just
directly
ask for
to your
Ask for it.
person and ask. And I mean that you can't solve bad communication by no communication on your end, right?
That's so true.
Yeah.
Other
Okay.
And that's owning it too. Go ask for what it is that you need, and go from there.
I like it. Any other? I'm nervous.
I mean, we could keep going. I don't know how much time we have left.
We've got all the time in the world to improve my career. I think we're going to need to take. It's going to be a very long podcast. Go ahead.
No, let's say. So, I know. Let's say you were in sales.
Okay.
You're in a sales role for the company, and you're not hitting your targets.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's starting to get frustrating, and you can tell your leader's starting to get maybe a little annoyed or whatever. You're getting annoyed with yourself, but you're just not getting traction. What might you do?
I was thinking, this is off the cuff, but I'm wondering, how much tape I would have to buy myself to kind of bump my numbers up.
You just go ahead and do it
If
yourself.
I have a garage big enough
Yeah.
to just place a really big order, everybody's like, oh, well, nice.
Well, that would do it.
No.
Everybody.
And not always being more on the production side. You're throwing me for a loop with the sales. Wow, where do I go? You gotta. We keep going back to the own, but you gotta first realize that you've got a problem. If you're not,
Right.
You've got to acknowledge. You can't just put your head in the sand and say this is going to work out.
Yeah.
Right. You go to your peer group. You go to your management, and you welcome their advice.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. That's pretty much what you do. You nailed it. Yeah,
Okay.
it really is. Not letting the frustration not take so much energy away from what it is that you're setting out, what you need to achieve. Like, don't waste your time on the frustration, and stop and say, okay, this last few months isn't working for me. Right. So what can I do to get myself re-engaged, re-motivated, and go get the
we all
knowledge
need
or whatever.
resets like that in life. We all can get down. We all can get caught in the minutia or the day-to-day.
Right.
It's been very different, especially in my experience, because my day-to-day is not really, and especially since the pandemic and people not coming into the office anymore. I mean,
it's different.
It kind of thrown everything for a loop.
It
So
sure has.
It is nice to just know that you can kind of hit pause, acknowledge things, and you've got resources out there to help you.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say I did okay on that one.
You sure did.
I didn't. Okay. What else? What do you got? What do you think?
Yeah.
How'd we do?
I think we did great. I think at the end,
We've certainly had our practice
we did great.
at this.
Yes. Well, I think we did great. No, I think the point to all of it is that we own our futures. There's no better leader out there than your own self for you, right? Like, you can get the things that you want and need if you just take the time to stop and think about it. And don't let the things that we can't control take over us. Sometimes we get so frustrated with something that it actually just completely muddies our mind.
Right.
And we end up not being the best decision makers. We end up venting more than we'd like, and we just, again, I know I said it earlier, you kind of go into this black hole of frustration or negativity. And it's up to us to pull our own selves out of it and not just hope that someone's going to be a mind reader and help us figure it out without us asking.
Acknowledge it, welcome help.
Yep. And network. Use your network.
And punch some bubble wrap.
Some bubble wrap
if
when you
have
need to. And it's okay because we're human. You
not
can
even
do
punch
that.
it, but pop
it,
man. Very nice. Thank you, Lori. This has been a
It's been
wonderful
so fun, Billy.
conversation.
Thank you.
I'm finally glad we were able to do this. It's been
Yes.
forever.
Yeah.
2 years here, and we haven't had a podcast with you. So
That's right.
here we go. One down.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the time.
More to come. This is Billy Watkins for the Premier Power Hour podcast with Lori Orr. Until next time, guys. Thank you.
Do you have comments, questions, or ideas about this topic? If so, we'd like to hear from you. Please visit primpack.com/podcast to let us know what you think. Thanks.